What's up? Making some backgrounds today. Ouch! Oops. Just stubbed my toe. Alright. I'm making a wide background to wrap around this 3D environment here. You can see this is my sketch. This is my sketch. So I'm gonna curve a JPEG or a PNG around the 3D environment, because I realized that I just don't like the 3D environment I was building. So I'm just gonna paint one and do a combo 3D 2D kind of thing, and I think it'll work out just fine. Jesus 2 is being my daemon today. My familiar. My mimic. My muse. What's up, Rat McLovin? Is Jesse in control of Jesus 2? Is Jesus 2 in control of Jesse? We may never know. Good question. Maybe Jesus too is guiding my artistic hand tonight. Jesus, take the wheel. Hey! Thank you. Okay, Titus. What's up? I can never read my own notifications because for some reason they're like tripled when they show up. I don't know how to fix that. So it just looks like a mess on my screen. Alright, so I got all the basic shapes here for this background wraparound thing. So what I'm gonna do... Hey, thanks for the follow. Alright, so what we're gonna do is... Let's see. First I'm gonna put down all the window color, which is this like purple. Let me think about this. Actually, let me grab... You're in the middle of my interview on Creative Block. Oh, nice. Everybody check out the defunct podcast Creative Block. Lord Spears and V's old podcast where they interview cartoonists. Let me grab another visual reference. Second. Prison Pod. Okay. So I'm gonna grab this purple here. And then we're gonna do this. Okay, this is clean line. This is fill. So we're gonna put down some fill flats first before we get really digging in for all these little windows. Oops. Gonna lurk. I'm glad I found you and streamed. Oh, nice. Have fun lurking. Enjoy the lurk. Okay. Right. How's my leg doing? My leg is still kind of jacked up. I actually just got a text from my physical therapist asking me how it was, but Have I been doing my physical therapy? No. Am I gonna regret that later? Probably. I've just been, I don't know. You get caught up in like, I'm so caught up in just barely scraping by, you know, not that might be a weird way to put it, but like I focus so much on drawing and drawing. I focus so much on just drawing. And like coming up with ideas for stories and things that I forget to kind of take care of my health. So my leg is jacked up. But I'm still going to like, do jujitsu and stuff like that. But when I come home, I'm like limping. It's really not good. Oops. My ferritin was at 11 in February, and my current doctor didn't even check it and tried to tell me my iron is normal. I don't know what ferritin is. Alright, we got all the windows, base flats for the windows here, and then I'm gonna make a, Alright, we're gonna make a little gradient here. Okay. Let's do this. So we're gonna go gradient. Okay. Oops. Let's get the whole thing. Okay. All right. Oops. So this will be this. This will be this. This will be yes. This will be this. And I'll just get rid of this. So it'll be like this. Get rid of this. Huh? What? I'm gonna delete that. Maybe we'll just delete that, right? Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Let's see how this feels. Water's in Blender, right? Yes, I did the water in Blender. What's up, Chloe88? What's up, Mohammed Lemon Jafakin? All right. All right. Let's put the green in the middle here. I'm gonna switch the orange with the blue. One, two, three. Got something like here. Here. Actually, kind of want the green here and the orange because I know Monday's glow is going to be blue, so we'll have a nice contrast. I'll make that orange. Add another thing here. And we'll make this. Why is that turning purple out there? I don't know why I'm getting this purple on the edge. It's kind of weird. Okay. 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 Okay, then what we do is we go okay, there we go. Select, modify, delete. And then we're gonna put the gradient. Boink. This is the windows. I'm gonna label that windows fill. Okay. So I can get rid of this. Okay. So now we have the basic whatever you want to call it. Oops. background shapes and fills. Close this gap here. What the fuck? Oh. Okay. There. All right. So then I gotta find out. I think the light, basically the light is going to be coming from the center and moving out, so both sides are going to be like light, as if there's a campfire kind of thing, right? So Big J's in the house for the stream. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to find the shadows first. And then find the light. Right, so we're going to go, what is this? I don't even know what this layer is. So this will be shadow layer. Okay. So I'm gonna go with a purple, and then I'm gonna go. Actually, I'm gonna duplicate this gradient. So let's rasterize it. Then I'm gonna duplicate it. Gradient noise. Right. Then we go image, hue saturation, bring that down to 0. Then we're going to go filter, pixelate, pointillize. And then we're going to do 3. Okay. We're going to go overlay, soft light. Let's see. Soft light, I think. Let's take a look here. Hard light. Pin light. Multiply. And then I'm going to lower the opacity by 70%. It loses some of that luster, so let's move that to overlay. We'll just work with this for now. All right, shadow. We're gonna use a soft brush. We're gonna go color dodge, I think. And let's see how this goes. Let me save this. Save as. Save this as new folder. BGs. Bags. BGs. And we're going to call this main establishing. Okay. Save. Okay. All right, let's see what this shadow does. What kind of want to do? Let me see. Change it, image to oh, my opacity is 17%. That's why. Fuck. Okay. Here. Put the difference here. Like there. Okay. Let's see what this color is. Okay. All right. let's start over. Right. So we're just going to paint in shadows now. Do I turn around? All right. I won't. All right. So now we're just going to paint some smooth shadows. And then we'll put the effect on afterwards. What's up, Karma Void? How you doing, man? I'm listening to some old ambient tape. I don't know what it is. Some ambient music from the 80s. Still chipping away at BGs yourself in the weeds from Vampire Surf Cult. Nice. There. I usually put on the ambient music because from the 80s and 90s because usually I don't get copyright struck for it. For the most part. Sometimes I do though. Yeah, tape stuff, that's what I'm listening to right now. Pass. Alright, let's do the other side now. Hey, is Forming actually getting an animated adaptation, or did I misunderstand? Forming is getting an animated adaptation, but as in is getting meaning I'm working on it. I have a production company involved, and I storyboarded about a 22-minute pilot just recently. And we're doing the sound design. I'm gonna do the sound design, work with the sound designers live on stream as soon as they have a first pass. And then we're gonna pitch it and try to raise money to get it made. We're gonna get some voice actors and to act it out, and yeah, we're just putting together basically a presentation to like for investors. I'm going to be acting it out live when I go on my book tour, as in like reading it and playing it for audiences on a projector or whatever. Yeah, we're trying to raise money for it. See if we can get people interested. Rich people. Richie riches. Hey, what's going on here? Oh, the eraser tool. Do you plan to be part of the whole production of Forming, or will you hire a storyboard team to work on the adaptation? I storyboarded it, the whole thing. Or not the whole thing, I storyboarded the first episode. Oh, do you mean if I made more? Would I hire a storyboard team? I think I would have to. I've thought about this because I've been storyboarding it. And I'm really doing it in a very peculiar, not peculiar way, but like particular way. And I'm like, can anyone else do what I'm doing? I don't like, will they be able to interpret my work, my comic, in a way that I wouldn't feel like trespassed, you know, trespassed upon, if that makes sense? Because I'm interpreting my work, my own work. I'm like making lots of like what do you call it? Artistic choices. That's not of things that like aren't in the book. And can I trust someone else not only to make the right choices, but to also like add flavor, you know, add new ideas. Because either you get someone who's too reverent, who's too like treating the material too preciously and just does a one for one, or someone who really doesn't understand the tone at all and just is just like shitting all over it, you know? It's hard to, I don't know. But I don't think I like it took me 3 months, I think 3 months to storyboard a 22-minute episode, and that's just not fast enough. Um so it's cool for doing a pilot, but it's not cool for doing a series. So I'd have to really like, I don't know. It's hard to find people that are, because I want it to be board driven. I don't want it to be script driven. I mean, sort of script driven because there's material to work from a comic, but that's not the pure script, you know, where I'm adding lots of dialogue. There's the whole pilot, most of the pilot is like stuff that isn't even in the book. Yeah, I'm back on Instagram. Executive notes will be fun. Does Attis need to smear cum on his body? Yes, he does. I mean, there's so much dick. There's so much dick in the pilot. There's like constant male, full frontal male nudity throughout the whole thing. Yeah, I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's not an adaptation panel by panel. No, it's not. It's like a totally like I'm totally expanding the book. I think we're gonna pitch it as like 3 seasons. I thought we could do it in 1 season, but storyboarding this episode it just started expanding out. I think it would be 2 or 3 seasons. If I got to make it. And if it didn't get canceled, obviously, like everything does. It'd be cool to find a way to just make it without with just like more niche financing instead of on a big network where they might cancel you at any moment. pass here. Three seasons, yeah. What shows even get past one season these days? I don't know. What cartoon shows anyway? Yeah, Big Mouth. I don't really know how that works. Somehow Big Mouth keeps going. I think I've only seen the first episode of Big Mouth, so I don't really know what's up with Big Mouth. Let's get a little more granular with this one. I liked Kroll Show, but I couldn't stand Big Mouth, and my friends had it on once. I liked Kroll Show too. Big Mouth. I know people that worked on Big Mouth, so I feel like I can't. Just me saying I can't say anything is already like damning enough, you know. There's a lot of like adult cartoon stuff that, you know, I know lots of people that work on them and the company's involved, and it's like if you don't have something, you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, you know. That's what my grandma said. That's what my grandma once said. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. My imaginary grandma. This is for Jesus 2, yeah. I'm making a short, one of the shorts. I'm making 3 shorts right now. I'm making 2 shorts, sort of like more lo-fi, like I'm hiring some animators off of my Discord to help me, and I'm doing all the backgrounds, and this one I'm gonna do, I might try to animate this whole one myself, maybe. But making this big wraparound background for it. It's gonna be in Blender. I originally designed this in 3D and I hadn't opened it in a couple months, and then I looked at it today. I was like, this shit sucks. This fucking sucks. I'm just gonna paint a background, you know? And it'll be like 2D, 3D, which I think will be cool. I'm just not a very good, I'm not a good 3D artist at all. I don't really know what I'm doing. So unless I've got like 3D artists at my disposal to help me, I kind of reached out to one guy on this one Blender 3D server I'm on, and you know, he's amazing, but I think he's too busy to help me out. So it's just like, no one's gonna care if I fucking just default back to my skill set, you know? Just do what I know how to do. Okay. So now we have this shadow. It didn't suck? I don't know. I think it sucked. I was looking at this shit's ugly. It's not hanging together well. I'm gonna keep the water and the platforms, but I'm getting rid of all the sculptural stuff. Think. And then, what was I doing? Color burn? Linear burn? That looks pretty good. I'm gonna go linear burn. Okay. Please don't let that 3D background you made go to waste. Use it in a promotion still or something extremely unique and very well made with the Blender experience you have. I appreciate it, but I don't know. With the Blender experience I have, that's the caveat. It's like, I just don't, you know what I mean? It's like one of the first few Blender backgrounds I've ever tried to make, like 3D backgrounds. I just think I could do something so much better eventually. I just don't, it's not up to, it's not, it's like, it's not hanging together. I think this is going to be a lot better than what I was doing. Oh, I'm keeping the pods though. The 3D pods, I'm keeping those in there. If I can finish this background in time, by the time I'm done streaming, I'll place it and you'll see how. I'm not sure how fast I'm going to go with this, but. So then when we take the line off, we start to see like how the shapes are coming together, Terry Gilliam style, you know. I kind of think about Terry Gilliam when I'm doing this kind of stuff. Some of his airbrush backgrounds that he used to do. Okay, so let's do the windows. Window shadow. Doink, doink. Oh, fuck. What's going on here? Stop it. Tolerance 20. My burn. Let's see what happens here. Let's do linear burn. I've just been working art today. Yeah, it's just approving some animation from Dinamita and I don't know. I woke up at like noon today. Fucking crazy. My neighbor baked a muffin. I had a blueberry muffin from my neighbor. Ate some lunch. That's about it. And then I've been working on this. I think. I might go out later with my brother, maybe. Just been answering emails. Um, yeah. I woke up like 15 minutes ago. It's 9 p.m. here. Yeah. I've been having to take Advil PMs to go to sleep. It's fucking crazy. I can't keep doing that because it's like bad for your stomach. But I can't fucking fall asleep. It's really bad. I gotta pee. I'll be right back. I'm back, Ben. I'm back. All right. All right. Let's do some highlights. Oh wait, I forgot this window here. All right, let's do some highlights. We're just finding the volumes. I think if I do difference, is that gonna do it? Yep. Divide. Had a job interview, caught up with my friend, watched the new Spider-Man movie with my brother, finished animation all in one day, so I just slept all day today. Gonna work on another shot. Just a minute. Nice. Yeah. That shot you sent me looked real good. If people don't know, Bufano in the Twitch is doing some animation for Jesus 2. Like 4 or 5 shots. One of the shorts. On the roof fight scene. What are we talking about? I had a dream about Oni plays. Then my mom handed me my Oni plays merch package the second I woke up. Oh my god. I watched I think Michael Cusack's live action short film that he put out. It was pretty funny. I don't know why it's not going through, but I wanted to know more about the character that's on the roof during the roof fight scene. The one who pokes his arms. Oh. That character's named Antonio. Um, I named him after Antonio, who's the creative director over Titmouse Studios. He's a He's a Frenchman living in South Africa. Because I think the that scene from Jesus 2 on the rooftop, I think takes place in some city in South Africa somewhere. And then he's just like a disaffected Frenchman who's been living for thousands of years, and he sits up on the rooftop and he's like an old man that sits on the porch, you know, and watches the world go by, kind of thing. And I kind of based him on a little bit on this guy. Not like fully, but I slightly based him on this guy named Omar who used to hang out in West Philadelphia all the time. Omar was like a semi-homeless guy who was always drunk, and he would come to all the shows and stuff like that. And he had a girlfriend who lived in the suburbs, so sometimes he would stay at her house. But Omar was a funny guy. He was a funny guy, and he had like a French accent, but he was from Morocco originally. And so he's sort of an amalgamation of Omar and Antonio from Titmouse. He's actually not anything like Antonio from Titmouse, but just it's like his name is a homage to Antonio, since because I like Antonio. I haven't like done much with him as a character yet. Like, we don't really know. He's almost just like an introduction to the world. Like, you're seeing the world through his eyes, I guess. He's the way into the world. But if I made more episodes, Antonio would probably get more character time. I thought he may have been a Zoroaster, watching this prick Jesus 2 fucking up everything in Plato and the original Jesus tried to do. I like what you said better, though. Yeah, he's not. As far as I know, he's not Zoroaster. But, like, none of this stuff is fully formed, you know? It's like, a lot of the way I write is sort of like improvisational. I come up with ideas and Easter eggs, and I plant them, or seeds, maybe you could call them, and I plant them and like see how they bloom later, you know? So nothing is certain. I don't like to have everything extremely planned out, because then I'm not having fun. I like to improvise stories, or just have like a general idea of what I think would be cool to see, to like witness or whatever as an audience member, and then I just kind of run with it instead of having like super planned out lore and all that kind of stuff. Although I do have some, you know, planned out lore, I guess, but I like to write outlines of things and then change my mind. That's what I like to do. Oh, nice. Yeah, glorious blue. Okay, so let's go here. Yeah, we had a couple notes on that shot. But I think the neck is too long, maybe. But, yeah, we're starting to get rough animation in from the production company, Dynamita, who helped me make the Jesus 2 short. Are the twins based on or inspired by any real life lore like Gnosticism or a folk legend or something? The two brothers are like based around the archetypes of the sun and the moon tarot cards. Tarot. It was easy enough for me to like generate, you know, basic idea of two archetypes. Sunday and Monday. Get it? Thanks. Thanks, Bafana. It's coming along, cruising. I'm cruising on it. I think I could maybe finish this by tonight. One shot. Is it August? It's August already. It's mid-August. It's nerve-wracking. I think there's some Rick and Morty party thing happening tonight at Silver Lake Shores. Just gonna stay in and draw. I might go to Justine's and get a drink and some pasta. Maybe. Some pasta. No, I'm not gonna go. I kind of feel weird about I don't know. I don't really know anyone that works on those. I don't think I know anyone that works on Rick and Morty. Oh, my cat's saying hi to me. What's up, bud? Wanna come up here? Change your mind? Justine's is a bar, like a wine bar, and they have like some good food. What's up? Do you want dinner? What time is it? 7? Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, I'll feed you in a sec. Okay. Save my work. So, okay. Let's do the same thing with the windows. Window highlight. Pressure sensitivity off. No, I'm gonna keep it on. Jesus 2 is the GOAT. That's what I've heard. That's just what Jesus 2 tells me. He's whispering in my ear. I'm the GOAT. Okay, alright, buddy, alright. Need you in a second. Show these windows. Has any company reached out to you after you posted the Jesus 2 pilot? Not sure if you can talk about this. It's not chill. I just want Jesus 2 plushie so bad. No, but I know a plushie company that, like, I've looked into some plushie stuff, and just gotta find the like energy to do something like that. Okay, all right. Okay, buddy. My cat is like digging her claws into me. File save. All right, I'm gonna feed my cat real quick. I'll be right back. I was thinking about making Sunday and Monday plushies. I think making a Jesus 2 plushie would be kind of hard because he's all separate segments. Yeah, buddy, I know. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna say BRB feeding. Ooh. Yeah, I know. Okay, all right. Be right back. Am I excited for the graphic novel tour? Yes. Alright, I'm back. Done feeding the cat. Although, hold on, let me turn my AC off. Hold on. I gotta turn my AC off. It's getting cold in here. Ugh. I don't know how I would make a J2 plushie. I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest. I guess I could like, I don't know. He would just like flop all over the. Maybe I could make like a J2 beanie baby or something. Maybe. Okay. I gotta build up the I don't know what the merch demand is, you know. So I've seen Wabi do like a poll where it's like if we get this many orders, we'll make them kind of thing, but I don't have the same following numbers as Wabi does, you know. So I just don't know if it's like jumping the gun a little bit too early to start doing merch stuff. All right. So then we're gonna do. Don't worry about it. Just do it. Okay. So now we're gonna do a second layer of shadow. Just build another layer of depth into this thing, you know. So shadow 2. And then we're gonna go here. And burn. And then we're gonna really dig into some of these shadows. Oops. Let's try. How about color? Multiply? Multiply. Too strong. Too strong. Multiply. Let's go. Maybe maybe after I release the Jesus 2 trailer series trailer, I'll make some moich. That feels like that would be a appropriate time. Some plushies. I guess I would have to work on it in advance though. Maybe I'll have some time. I feel like I'm always like strapped for time. I don't even know how to design a... Oh, I could use the same people that made the Wabi plushies. They've got like a whole setup, I guess. Well, that's one person whose wallet is ready. I don't know. So the way that works is like, if enough people sign up to pre-order the plushie, then they produce it. It's like a made-to-order kind of thing. That way they don't risk like making a bunch and not selling any kind of deal. J2 plush keychain. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. I don't know, like, what do I do? Shopify or something? I heard that Shopify CEO is a real piece of shit, apparently. There was some merch company that was reaching out to me that wasn't Shopify. And they were harassing me with emails for a while, but I was like, I don't feel like making merch. T-shirts and all that stuff. Oops. I have a sick animation keychain. And this sick animation refrigerator magnet. Am I allowed to say who? Yeah. Let me see who it was. If I reached out to them, they would be like, let's go, you know? But merch. Dashery, they're called. They were talking to me in July. Nike 2 J2 Dunks. Yeah. Nike J2 Dunks. Nike 2. I would do a collab with Toto toilets. Some bidet brands. Tushy. I would do a collab with Tushy. Fucking love Tushy. Yeah. All right. Getting some volumes going on here. Let's do some volumes on the other side. Deepest shadow. If U2s or Makeshift reaches out to you, please consider it. I got some plushies made by them and they are amazing quality. Let me write that down. U2s or Makeshift. Is that different from like Shopify or whatever the fuck? I just have to like run a store, like a store, right? I used to have a Shopify account. I was selling t-shirts and stuff, but you pay fees every month. And if you're not selling merch, you're just like losing money basically. So that's kind of why I haven't been doing it, because I don't feel like keeping up with it all the time and being like, oh shit, I'm losing money on my Shopify. I'm just like burning money. They focus on indie animation and YouTubers, but it's they reach out to you kind of thing from what I gathered. Oh, okay. So I gotta wait to get the blessing. YouTube's getting kind of scary with their AI censorship kind of stuff going on, where they're shutting down channels, animation channels that they think are for kids, something like that. That whole shit that happened with Bridge Kids. It's fucking weird as fuck. Makes me think that you know, YouTube is just like a temporary stopgap. It really makes me hope that like Animation Plus gets there, really gets, I don't know, like hits the gas, you know, steps on the gas with their promotion and stuff, because you can actually like talk to them, unlike YouTube. Yeah, there's been a bunch of like YouTube creators who've been shut down recently for like making cartoons and being like falsely, what do you call it, labeled as kids, for kids, and then they get shut down. It's my understanding what's happening. It's wild. And then there's no way to reach YouTube people unless you're like crazy famous. So they can just kind of shut you down at any time. It's sort of it's like no one at the wheel. Just a bunch of dumb AI bots. It's a real interesting way to run a company. YouTube delete everything they deem as non-profitable, which is like roulette that rolls itself, yeah. It's crazy because I think animation is like a huge part of their viewer base. The reason why people watch stuff on YouTube, and they just kind of treat the animation people like not so great seemingly. But I don't think anyone gets that much. Like, even the really big YouTubers have a hard time getting in touch with a human being at YouTube. I don't know, it seems like there's like no one. There's like a monolithic company with no human beings working there or something. Or at least that's the way they like you to think of it. Once Forming becomes more famous than the Bible, will it be released in other languages? I actually found a Brazilian edition at the comic. Yeah, I know there was a Portuguese translation that Nobrow did. I don't think Fantagraphics has the same connections to the Portuguese publisher. But Fantagraphics has connections to French publishing. I don't know. I'll definitely talk to them about it. About like it really depends on how well it sells. I think if it goes to more like gets a translation, and other like different language countries like are asking for it, basically. Like, you know, you have to get the publishers interested. Like, I remember Hubert Editions wanted to do translations of Forming back like years ago, but it just never happened because I never finished the third book in time. So I don't know if Hubert Editions is still interested, but I know Fantagraphics does do like other languages. I just don't know. I don't know, you know, it's all up in the air, like how well the book sells. We'll know in October. A J2 water hose sprinkler? That's pretty cool. Just rewatched J2, my man. Nice. Alright. So I did all the deeper shadows. I gotta do the deeper shadows on the windows. So let's do that. Window shadow 2. Multiply. Color burn? Yeah, color burn. All right. So the only thing left that I might want to do is just all of your veggies. J2 sprinkler. Like the one that the kids jump through or whatever, the fucking the one that goes like the 80s style sprinkler. That's sick. That's sick, man. Alright. I think I might do one more level of like highlight. Like really make it Lisa Frank pop. I don't know. Maybe I don't need to. Yeah, I should. Alright, let's go. Alright. So we're gonna do... We're gonna call it Highlight 2. And do this, and then we'll do divide. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to put it into the 3D environment right after this. See how it looks. See how it looks. I'm gonna have to roll back the stream and see how you rendered that BG. I stepped away for like an hour and came back to the craziest looking wild stuff. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. It's pretty simple, kind of simple what I do, actually. It's not super complicated. I try to keep it really, like, my process pretty, like, direct. I don't go into... At this point, it's, like, pretty systematized. Systematized? Like, I'm just building layers of shadow and highlight, you know, basically. And I've got my little airbrushy sort of techniques, but I'm not using any crazy tools or anything. Maybe I should keep it more secret what I do, but I basically read a Robert Beatty interview a couple years ago, and I've been doing sort of like my version of that for a couple years now. Also, the nice thing about using a 2D background instead of a 3D background is it's gonna save me on my like computer processing power as well. What was my takeaway from them? They were just asking like, how do you get that airbrush look in Photoshop? Because he's all digital, and I was trying to figure that out because obviously I do airbrush in analog, but I didn't know how to transfer like my airbrush techniques to digital. So I just read that interview. It's like he kind of explains what he does to get that airbrush look. I'm sure he has lots of other tricks, but I kind of took what he said in that interview and just started messing around and finding my way of doing things. Everyone's got their digital recipe, I guess. Balloon animals, hot dogs. Yeah, I know. I've been doing this like balloon animal thing. I was doing this on that McDonald's commercial I was working on, and I was like, yeah, that's just like the materials. And they're like, what is this made out of? I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, it's just colors and light and shadow. I don't know how to communicate to 3D people sometimes. Okay. So we'll go. Save it. All right. So now I'm gonna save this as a PNG. We need to cook. Jesse, we need to cook. Cook dinner? Alright, save this as a PNG. Save. Okay. Alright. Okay. I think I can close Photoshop. Open Blender. Have I watched Breaking Bad? I think I watched like 2 or 3 seasons of Breaking Bad. So this was my temp background that I put in there just to see if this would work. Oops. Okay. So let's go. Where's this background? Test BG. All right, take out my test BG. All right, so I'm going to import this. Add mesh plane. BGs. Import. Right. So we're going to go size. Back. Yeah. Back to about here. And then let's see, size. That big. Okay. All right, and then what I'm going to do is, all right, so this is the part. Okay, I go. Oh, edit mode. There we go. So, separate? No, subdivide. 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 Alright, and then I subdivide it a bunch of times. Probably need to subdivide it more than that. Let's go 20 times. Alright. Go back to object mode. Then we're gonna go into here. We're gonna add oh yeah, wait. Okay, wait. We're gonna go add object. Then we add, oh no, add lattice. No, not empty. Arrows. There we go. Then we're gonna call this bend. Bend BG. All right. This is main establishing. Okay. Bend BG. Then we're gonna go main establishing. We're gonna add modifier, deform, simple deform, bend. Then we're gonna say origin object, bend BG. On the y-axis, on the z-axis, all right. And then we're gonna bend that shit this way. I think like about there, I guess. And then we're gonna go size X. About here. And it's a little tall, so we go size Z. Down. Save. Did I import with emission? I don't know. Is it because it's being affected by the light or whatever? Right. Let's see what this looks like. With a full render. Let's put the characters in. Where are my characters at? I don't see them. Were they in here before? Let's see. Birds. Lighting. Prison pods. Characters. Ghost portal. Where's China? When you import BG with emission, check the colors is already perfect, preferably however you made them. Yeah. My characters have disappeared. My characters are... Where are they? Sunday wide should be right there. Eh? Let's see. If I move. There they are. The fuck is cool? What is this? Object mode, Sunday wide. Oh, there they are. Oh, it's because I was on frame 0. Okay. So if I go to blink. Okay. So if I play it, cool. Let's move the eyes. I'm gonna make the eyes. Where are they? Characters. Prison pods. Archway's eyes. Here we go. So I'm gonna raise these up in the sky. And I'm gonna make them big. Oh, fuck. Let me do this again. Do it on keyframe 1. G. Z. Raise them up. Look at that. Size. Oops. Fuck. Yeah. Here. Think of. Whoa. Where'd they go? They better. Okay. I don't know. Okay. So we'll make that fully rendered here. All right. So I'm also going to change the. I'm not going to do this like doing everything in like square. I'm just going to do regular 1920 by 1080 or 3840 by 2160 because I don't want to format everything for multiple fucking. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that shit. Save my work. Thanks, Bafano. Thanks, Kumiho 1970-29. Yeah, this looks better than the fucking other thing I was doing. It's taking a while to save, though. Alright, let me see. Yeah, that looks good. I'll move the water back also. Let's see. I'll move the water back so it... GY. Size Y. Okay. What's up, buddy? You wanna come up here? We'll see if I can get away with just doing one background. I don't know. If I have to, I'll... Because I'm going to have some shots from, like, here. It might start to look a little weird. A little too flat, maybe. We'll see. Word. Alright. The only thing is, like, this, maybe I won't have... I might just leave, like, Sunday as a ghost and not have this, like, thing behind him. This, light. Because, it blocks the, It blocks the, where's the ghost light? I gotta manage my files. Prison pods. Lighting. Characters. Ghost portal. This thing. This thing sort of locks you from being able to see like what's happening in the scene. So I might just get rid of that. And just be able to see everything going on. Cool. Ghost portal. Make it invisible. Yeah. And then I just gotta make sure his feet aren't clipping through the bottom of the frame here, so that's a little bit of a challenge. Maybe if I like tilt him, I don't know, that'll start to look weird. I might have to draw some like feet in, like extra feet or something in front, so that he still looks like he's inside this thing, you know? Yeah, because if I raise him up so that his feet clear, then it looks like he's floating. That doesn't look good. So that's a problem with the drawing. You could use an empty to parent him on top. I should make a blender reel. What if I G rotate on the what, on the x-axis? That doesn't make fucking any sense either. Let's see. It looks like a video game where I've like turned the character flat. I don't know. It's kind of neat in its own weird way. Probably shouldn't do that. I should probably just draw feet in front. Like just draw some feet here, like in perspective. Because it's going to be fixed camera anyway, I think. I'd put the feet on a separate layer and give you more flex. Yeah, right. That's what I'm going to do. Put the feet on a separate layer. If it's a layer, I'll bend it. If it's a layer, I'll bend it. You'll bend the... Yeah. I think if I draw it in perspective from the fixed camera, I can just draw the feet in front and cheat it. Weird. Okay, well, this is a success, I think. Let me delete some things I'm not using here. So I'm not using this. What is this skybox test? I'm not using that. So I should delete that. Or test BG. Delete that. And then where's it? Not displacement water shapes. Fuck, I'm not doing good with my file management here. Archways, prison pods, characters, not in the characters. Oh yeah, bending. Okay, bending. Get rid of that. X. Wrong move. Bending this one. X. Okay. What is Skybox test? What is Skybox test? All right, I can get rid of that. X. And this ocean surface. Oh, that's the realistic ocean I was using for a little bit. The more realistic version, but I think it'll be better to use the less realistic version. So I'm going to get rid of that. X. And then Prison BG concept. Okay. I think I might have made the waves. The waves were like tight triangles, and now they might be too flat because I made the plane larger. Maybe that's okay because now it's like moving like a. I'll have to render it out and see what it looks like. Okay, so hopefully I made this less intense. Memory wise. Save. Just make the portal more transparent. Bend the feet that are clipping. Yeah, I could try doing that for sure. I'll have to figure out how to do that. Okay. All right. Let me render this baby out. Let's see how it looks. Render animation. All right. So we'll render it. See if my computer doesn't crash while rendering. Oh yeah. Okay, so there you see the triangle waves there? That's what I want it to look like. So I think it's rendering correctly. We're just gonna have to render 150 frames. So this might take a couple minutes. Then I'm probably gonna go get some dinner. Thanks, Bafana. What's for dinner? I'm probably gonna go to Justine's. Let me see if my brother wants to go. This is making me feel way more optimistic about making this short, to be honest. I've been putting off working on this short for a couple of months. What's for dinner? Your computer will explode. Am I streaming okay? Am I chunking or is it okay? I did take a risk by hitting render right now. Streams well? Okay, good. Well, I took out most of the 3D elements except for the water and the platforms. Is he learning the astral project? No, he's already astral projecting. He's escaped his body because his body's trapped by a bunch of swords. Am I gonna animate this short alone? I'm thinking, yeah. Since I'm already like hiring people to help me work with on the other short, on the other two shorts, I might try to just animate this one myself because it's just talking heads, really. They don't they're not like running around and doing action. It's like gonna be pretty easy to animate. I just have to animate the acting. So it'll be a lot like that short I made for A Studio Digital. The Peter and Aogu, if you saw that. My cat came to visit. Between you and Jesus 2, who's Jesse Pinkman and who's Walter White? I'm definitely Walter White, and Jesus 2 is Jesse Pinkman. Yeah, well, I had messed with Blender already, but you know, it helps to learn something by having a project to do. I find I can't just do tutorials like that. I'm never gonna learn. I have to like be forced to be making something. You know, so it actually makes it easier to have something. I forgot to change the shot to 4K instead of square. It's all right. What's going on with you, buddy? Why are you fucking going bath crazy? Did I get to watch Fist of the North Star as a kid? I think I've seen a few references of it in your works. Yes. Fist of the North Star is probably one of the most influential pieces of media in my life. I would say. Just totally impacted me as a teenager. And it's like a guiding light for me. How's Instagram browsing been? Instagram makes me feel sick in my soul. I'm gonna have to try to like stay off of it as much as I can. It's nice to, you know, what was cool was like the one thing that was cool was seeing the Vimeo post about Jesus 2, and there were like 250,000 views on it or something like that, and I'm like, oh fuck, I missed the boat on that one. So that made me feel bad about quitting Instagram, but you know, it is what it is. You just can't feel bad. Now I've got like 300 followers on Instagram. I used to have a lot more. But it's okay. It feels nice. It's like a reset. Like cleaning the house. You had a huge audience as a kid, never again. IG's really evolved into a weird monster. Yeah. I could feel that like a couple years ago. That's why I left, but the people paying for my adaptation of forming wanted me to start an Instagram account so I could direct people to the forming Instagram. I get it. Do I sketch much? Do I sketch much? Do I sketch much in the sketchbook? Not a lot, but sometimes, yeah. I have a yellow sketchbook I've been drawing in here. You can see my yellow sketchbook. I've been slowly filling this one up. I do like concept art in it. So stuff like this. I don't know if you can see that. Galaxies and ideas, stuff that like if I'm like storyboarding and I can't think of what it would look like. Sometimes it helps to do it on paper. It's like forming planets and stuff like that. Just to get an idea, and then I'll scan it into my computer and then draw over top of it. This kind of stuff. Just like markers and colored pencils and stuff. Yeah. So I always keep at least one. It's like a VizDev. I kind of do VizDev in sketchbooks, I guess you could say. But I don't like doodle, and I don't doodle a lot anymore. I used to doodle all the time, all day long, but all my energy is kind of goes into making more finished kind of stuff these days. So the doodling has left my body. We're at frame 52. I'm terrible at keeping a sketchbook. I always want something finished. Yeah, I think I've turned into more of a making finished stuff kind of guy over the years. I just don't have the time to fuck around and like, or energy to like fuck around and doodle. I do have the time, and like I could bring sketchbooks with me to bars and stuff, I guess, and cafes, but most of the time I'm making finished stuff. I don't know, I'm just like making finished stuff all day long. But sometimes I can't think of what something would look like when I'm working on a computer. I need to like have a more tactile experience, so I'll draw in a sketchbook to get those ideas. Regarding Instagram, I much prefer how it used to be, where you posted wherever you wanted, whatever you wanted. Your IG page was like a junk journal rather than a portfolio. Yeah, I tried to. I like treating Instagram like a junk journal for sure, but I don't know. You have a spam account where you just can post whatever you want. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna get some more water really quick. It's all algo driven. They just want to keep you on the app so you can see more ads. True. The chronological feed was peak Instagram for sure. I probably should have just kept it a static camera instead of well, whatever. Too late now. I'm gonna post this on Insta. Speaking of Instagram. To mess with my RAM. TikTok isn't that bad. I made an account like 2 days ago, but my previous TikTok account was fun to post on. I think Discord is #1 in terms of like, actually, I don't mind using Discord at all. Discord is like just being, it just feels like I'm on a group chat kind of thing, group text chat. I used to have photos and videos be seen by a bunch of people back when Instagram started, but algorithms say no to me doing anything now. Wait, Buffano, how come you had a big Instagram back in the day? What kind of stuff were you posting? I feel like you've said this before. When you were 11 to 15, what kind of stuff were you posting? Was it like fan art stuff or something? I talked about my IG because Michael gave me a follow back then. Oh yeah. UES all fan art. Yes, all fan art. Okay, nice. Fan art will get you far in life. I think it's good that you, I don't know. IG Smiling Friends fandom was me, 4 other people, and Michael. Nice. I'm sort of, I have like a feelings about fan art. I think if you want to do fan art, at maximum fan art should be 10% of your artistic output as an adult. It's okay to do fan art. It's okay to draw stuff and do your take on stuff. I think that's okay. It's okay to appreciate other people's characters and want to do. Basically, it's like doing cover songs. You know, it's like if you're a musician and you do cover songs, that's okay, but it shouldn't be your whole thing. You know. Every once in a while I'll draw someone else's character or whatever. I almost never do it, but I think it's okay to do it. And I think that creators appreciate it when people draw their versions of your characters. I think that's like a huge compliment. But I think trying to making a career out of being a fan art artist, I think is like a dead end, you know? You shouldn't do it. It shouldn't be a majority of what you're drawing. It should be like a very small piece of the pie. Yeah, you can't make a career on other people's work. It's like you'll I don't know. Maybe you can be like one of those convention artists or whatever. I don't know. I think it's like pretty low tier sort of existence, you know. Yeah, cons forever. No thanks, man. Artist Alley is a degenerate place. I really think Artist Alley is like when I walk by Artist Alley, I get fucking grossed out. Yeah, I watched a whole video on a guy who broke down his expenses on like going to all the conventions around the country and how much he has to pay for tables and how much he makes in terms of print sales and stuff. But he doesn't do, I'd say the fan art part stuff that he does is only like a small portion. He actually has his own characters and stuff, so it's a little better than that. I used to do crappy Dragon Ball Naruto fan manga when I was 12. I wish I could actually do good one with my current skills. Yeah, when I was 12, I was doing Ninja Turtle fan art and stuff like that. I think the fan art thing is like fucking, I don't know, man. If you're going to conventions and that's all if you're tabling at conventions and all you're doing is making like Zelda prints, you need to re-examine your life. It's great when you're a kid, yeah, but if you're 27 doing that shit, you need to get your shit together. I think you can start with fan art on social media and do your own stuff. Yeah, I mean, it is like a hack, right? Because people that's why people make like fan art animations and stuff, and then the channels blow up because people recognize the character. So you're basically like cheating the system or whatever, cheating the algo by being like, oh, here's my take on Zelda doing some cool action animation stuff that I'm good at animating, but I don't have my own characters that you recognize. So I'm gonna have Zelda doing something cool, or Link or whatever. And it's a way to get eyes on your stuff, and I think it's the same thing as like making topical cartoons. It's a little bit of a cheat for like getting attention on your work, and maybe it's okay to exploit that, I guess. But I don't think it's cool. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's just not what I would want to do with my own work. I don't want to make topical cartoons. Because the topical cartoon stuff, like, doesn't... 6 years later, it's, like, meaningless. Yeah, it ages terribly. But it's a good way to get eyes on your stuff, like, you know? So deal with the devil. 40 more frames to go. I think the last time I drew fan art, someone came up to me and told me to draw a Ninja Turtle in their sketchbook or something, so I drew a Ninja Turtle for them. Yeah, that disposable thing, like, I don't want people to move on from what I'm doing. I mean, inevitably they're going to move on from what you're doing, but I want them to keep thinking about it, like, years later, hopefully, you know? Being like, oh yeah, that was this, like, resonant thing that still, I could still watch it now, 10 years later, and it still, like, has power. Not just like making meme cartoons about 6-7 or whatever, you know? Making fun of 6-7 or whatever. I don't have access to a lot of animation as a kid, so I have to do it myself, but I guess it makes sense to not rely on that. Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to be too, like, harsh. I mean, I think there's a place for disposable animation also. I think that's fine too. Like, people who make, like, meme cartoons and stuff, just, yeah, animating to radio plays or, like, meme videos or something. I think that's totally fine. I just, like, I have no desire myself to do it. I don't want to hate on it. But it should stop. So should I stop production on my prestige animated series for Snapchat, the 6-7 brothers? I mean, I think the 6-7 thing is, like, too late anyway, so you should probably find a different... You gotta get ahead of the memes, you know? You gotta be able to anticipate what the next meme is gonna be. I think if you made the 6-7 brothers now, I don't think it would pop. Maybe it would. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to hate on fan. I don't know, man. I sometimes I say stuff and then I immediately feel bad about what I just said. Fan art's cool. I just don't think he should be tabling at conventions selling only fan art. I think that's like fucked up. Make your own shit. Burns all your Wolverine paintings. Burns all your Deadpool paintings. Or your Deadpool slash fiction. Deadpool Wolverine erotic fan art. Thoughts on making stuff up with no deep meaning? I think it's fine. I think it's cool. Sometimes I make stuff with no deep meaning, just like gags and stuff, jokes, dumb jokes. I don't know if I could do a whole story that wasn't some sort of investigative, you know, philosophical exploration. If it was just like jokes, I don't know. I have friends who just make purely joke, shock humor kind of like comics and stuff with no sort of like almost like sociopathically shallow you know, kind of stuff, and I think it's good. I just can't invest my own time into telling a story unless I feel like I'm learning something from it in my own like investigative way. Sometimes I don't really have stuff to say, like this character is a crack addict and that's about it. I think all you have to do is like find some aspect that's maybe surprising or something. I think really, if you don't have to have like a deep story or anything, you just have to find something that hits that nerve in the audience mind, like some sort of novelty. Like I love Nancy comics, for example. Nancy is one of my favorite comic strips, and there's nothing, it's just simple premises and simple punchlines, and I think it's one of my all-time favorites, you know. So I think as long as there's some sort of like zing in the brain of like the audience that you're like evoking, I don't think it has to, you don't have to write deep stories. My problem is I write something, draw it out, and the next day I'm like, this is a vent and cringe as fuck. Yeah, I've had that happen to me too, so I wouldn't worry about it either. Sometimes I write cringe essays on my Patreon and then I delete them. So it is what it is. Sometimes you just gotta get the ideas out and then you recognize that they're cringe. And then you figured out one thing that you wouldn't do again, you know? It's good to get bad ideas out sometimes. Are we cringe? Yeah, sometimes. Well, you might not think it's cringe, but I have drafts in my Patreon that I've never posted because they're cringe. Yeah, and I've been like, good thing I didn't post that one. Jesus too. Oh, I think that's the final frame. Let me see. just like criticizing shit I don't like. I don't know. Sometimes it's like cringe to be too much of a hater. Okay. Rendering, yes. I was rendering for the past like 10 minutes. Alright, let's see how it came out. There we go. Wait. That's it. 6 seconds. Nice. Once I came up with a premise called Storyteller. It was about a god who allows to live any fantasy story you want, and 10 years old kid contacts him, but the prize was that you have to finish the story or the consequences will be permanent, and everything born from that. Nice. What are you going to do with that premise? Okay, I'm gonna post this in J2 series Discord. For some reason, when I post it in the Discord, it's not playing. I can't play it. Maybe I need to convert it to an MP4. Let me open up Handbrake real quick. Let's see, open this with Handbrake. Open with Handbrake. Please. Open. What the hell? Sorry, I'm doing this off camera right now. 1 second. Short number 1. Doink. Open. There we go. And then video encoder. Title. Save as. To 2D BG test. Then post that in Jesus 2. Short number 1. All right, just post it here. All right, choose, doink, and then add to queue. Start. So this should be able to play in my... Okay. I'll post this in my Discord, and hopefully it plays in the Discord without having to download. Doink. Yes. Nice. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go get some dinner with my buddies. But good hanging out with y'all. Thanks for watching my process of working on this scene. See you in the next one. Bye, guys.